What's up, dudes? Shin here, getting another Wi-Fi battle in, and after this, I'm actually going to be changing my style a bit, mostly just the teams I use, because I've come to notice that I've had a core of always having Clam Witch and my Tsukihime, and even in this put together like rush together rain team. But hey, those are actually three of my favorite Pokemon, so I'm sorry, but I'll try to stop it from here on out. Moving on from that, this is just again a rain team I just kind of tossed together, and I have no idea what kind of team he has honestly, but it seems to be a pretty solid team. The Steel, and you're seeing a lot of Psychics right now, and that Dragonite. I've had bad experiences with the Dragonites the past two battles, which I have not posted and will not be able to post since one was just too haxy, so decided not to save it, and the second one, which I did lose, but I forgot to save it like an ass, so I apologize for that. But just admitting, yes, I did lose twice, both horribly, really horribly, 5-0 and 6-0 simultaneously, well, respectively. Moving on from that, seeing his team, I see he has really nothing viable to stop my reign, unless one of these guys randomly just carries a sunny day or something of another, but it's all good. And if they do, I will have no problem switching right back out into my Slippy, which is my Politoed, just to get my rain right back up. Now, interestingly enough, the only Pokemon who has a good benefit is actually my Tornadus and my Galvantula, my Fangs, since I have the 100% accuracy Thunder, Stabbed, and of course 100% accuracy Hurricane, Stabbed, and Choice Specs with Tornadus. We'll see how that works out. And moving on, I'm about to get started into this battle. You'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I don't really do that so bad. But turns out I won't. Now, finally, after a long stream, going into the battle. We got him, Ssips from Smogon, starting off with his Magnezone. I'm starting off with my Slippy. And I'm just going to protect up to scout what he's going to do. Look, my rain's up. Scout see what he's going to do. His Magnezone is Air Balloon, so that's interesting. And he T-Bolts, as expected, so I decided to switch out, go into my Tsukihime, since she's a special beast, and if he decides to Parax me, he'll take the Parax right back thanks to my Synchronize. Then I take that T-Bolt decently well, max special attack Magnezone I assume, and I wish up, and then he Iron Defense. Ooh, Iron Defense is assuming that I'm a Curse set, but I am not. So I decided to go for a Toxic because he's probably going to switch out, but he does not. Just goes for another Iron Defense, which is interesting. It's not really going to affect much. And I just decided to go for a Wish just to see what he's going to do. He goes for a T-Bolt. And this time he actually gets the crit, which is something because it does a hell of a lot. But thankfully I did Wish up, so I was just able to protect and get all that health back in this turn coming. Honestly, I probably would have predicted that in the switch if I was him, but he doesn't. He does stay in. Just go for another T-Bolt. Maybe over-predicting, I don't know. And he finally switches out, goes to his Dragonite. And I decide to go for a Wish, which is actually good, because if he hits me, I most likely be able to survive since I had some defensive investment. But he just goes for a D-Dance, which is scary. Thankfully, I'm able to get my Toxic up, even though I've missed it in every other battle. And since he is not carrying the Lumberry, his sweep will not last so long, which is very good. I decided to go into my Indeed to take whatever he's going to hit me with, which is a Dragon Claw. And that's scouting the move, and it does a little more, no, a little less than half, which is good, because after leftovers and the switch out and regenerator kicking in, I'm going to pretty much get all that damage right back. So I had to go into my Clam Witch, since I'll be able to take that Dragon Claw, and decide to set up some of my Etchy Hazards, but only able to set up one, which would be Stealth Rocks, since on this turn, he also decides to go ahead and go for the Fire Punch. And in the rain, definitely, it was raining, doesn't kill me, but still does a good chunk. Let's go up. And then finally, I get my lefties up. I'm about to switch out to save Clammy for later, for a really good purpose, as you're going to see. But he also switches out into his Deoxys, as I switch out into my Inde, which is bad, since Inde really has nothing he can do against this guy. But thankfully, he also has that regenerator. Doesn't make a difference, he's full health now, but he has the regenerator, so switching in doesn't really hurt him that much. I go into Tsukihime, see what he's gonna do. Then he taunts me, which completely cripples my Tsukihime. So I have no choice but to switch out and go to my Fangs. And Fangs is just gonna do some shenanigans here, as you're gonna see going through the whole match. Because I'm going to keep thundering away, and he has a light screen and really high special defense, so he's gonna survive it, obviously. But I'm going to keep on dropping those thunders. Just leave the assumption that he's scarfed or spec'd, which he is not actually. He's actually expert bolted, but guess what? Ssips does not know that, and I'm gonna keep it that way. So I just keep going for the thunders and thunders and thunders, and hey, everything's working out well. Dragonite's gone, big threat, but he also there's a Fernape. And the last two matches, I lost the speed tie, and Fernape completely annihilated me. So I decided to go into my in there, which completely walls this guy, regardless of what's that he uses, thanks to the beastly defense. And hey, look, he's Life Orb, so that's good to know. I know I can probably Life Orb stall this guy. Goes for the T-Punch, and I take that rather well, and I go for the Scald, just to see what I can do, hopefully kill him, but I do not. Lives with a smidgen of HP, which is okay, because since I can survive another Thunder Punch, hope is not a crit, I'll just slack off, get all that HP back with no problem, and just switch out and get the rest of it back, and Inda will just be ready for more tanking and douchebaggery. After my slack off recovery and leftovers, I get a nice chunk back, but he goes back into this Rankorosu, which again I can't do anything against. And I go into my Fangs, try to scare this guy off, and his light screen wears off, which is gonna help him go right into his Deoxys, try to set it up, but predicting that, I just simply go for the Bug Buzz, which is gonna kill him. Sadly, he probably should have stood in since the calming would have helped a lot. Probably would have survived, but hey, whatever happens. And this is the best part. Thinking I'm Specs or Scarfed, he switches to Tentacruel, but I'm not, and that Thunder just annihilates Tentacruel. Awesome play on my part, I believe. I'm proud of myself. Now he goes into his Magnezone. I'm just gonna go for the Volsu, which is switch out of there and use my Clammy as a fodder, so I'd be able to switch into Stash just to get that good, focus blast going off, just to OHKO this guy. And this whole thing, of course, was a big risk, because if I would have missed, he could have T-bolted me and probably done a hell of a lot to my team. But I don't. Focus blast him. He's gone. No threat. So, I'm a happy guy. Now that he's gone, that only leaves this Rankorosu, and I have no choice but to switch out, since I am locked into Focus Blast, which is resistant to, and decide to go into my Fangs, and just hopefully I can take this guy out with Bug Buzzes, and hopefully get a special defense drop. So after one Calm Mind, because of the switch, I decided to go for Bug Buzzes, a little less than half, which is good. Because if he's running Recovery, I see if I could try to play him out a bit. And I just go for another Bug Buzz, and he takes that rather well still. Thankfully, he only just goes for another Calm Mind, so I know I have this set. Because now I'll just be able to take him out with another Bug Buzz. If he does survive, kill me. I got a Hurricane coming for him. If he just recovers, I will still Bug Buzz him away. So that's the end of that match, guys. Whew. That was actually pretty fast-paced for me. I apologize for the stuttering and skipping a lot. Nonetheless, my cousin actually just messaged me, so actually I had to get rid of that window in the middle of the match. But moving on, I think this was a pretty good match. But an idea for you guys, the actually few people. I think there's about 4 people who actually watch my videos. Maybe more, if I'm lucky. Hey, send me some requests, see some Pokemon testing, because I do use PokeSave. Regardless of anyone says, oh, you're a hacker, oh, you don't earn it. Yes, I do earn it. Want to know why? Because I actually think out the Pokemon. I just don't make 999 stats. That's just moving on from that. Yeah, give me some ideas, because there's actually some ideas I am going to try. If I get no ideas, I'll just try, the ideas that I've just fiddled with in my head. As far as ideas you can give to me, so as long as it's not fully evolved or some little cup BS like that, anything is welcome. OU, RU, UU, NU, borderline, whichever. Throw them at me, and hey, you might just see them on there. And if you leave your name, whatever Pokemon idea you gave me, I have no problem with naming that Pokemon after you. So guess what? You will be on my team directly. Haha. Nonetheless, I'll be bad, since it'll be like I'm master over you. But enough of that. Video's about to run out, so guys, I will talk to you later. And next match should be a little more interesting than the last few. Take care.